The strongest version of you is never born by accident. It is forged in silence, in suffering, in the relentless discipline to rise while the rest of the world bows and breaks. Understand this: the world does not reward kindness. It does not reward hope. It rewards the ruthless, the calculated, the man who sees the board for what it is and bends it to his will. They will test you. They will push. They will provoke. They will wait, hungry for the moment you fracture. They feed on chaos. They live for your fear, your anger, your weakness. But the man who feels nothing, the man with ice in his veins and fire in his vision, he doesn't just play the game, he rewrites the rules. These are not lessons, these are laws. Laws that will shape you into the man the world cannot break, cannot touch, cannot ignore. Machiavelli understood this. History proved it. Now, it's your turn to claim it. Comment, I bend the game to my will if you're ready to rise. Power is not built on wishes. It is not built on hope, luck, or empty affirmations whispered into the void. Power is engineered, brick by brick, habit by habit, decision by decision, until you become something no man, no storm, no world can move. This is the foundation. Without it, everything else collapses. Rule 1. Control yourself or be controlled. Your emotions are your greatest weapon, but only if you hold the blade. Lose your temper, and they own you. Act out of fear, and they steer you. Every outburst, every impulsive reaction is a leash waiting to be tightened around your neck. Master yourself first. Speak when silence serves no purpose. Move only with intent. The man who owns his mind owns the battlefield. Rule 2. Discipline is freedom. Weak men confuse freedom with chaos. They think freedom is doing whatever they feel in the moment, sleeping in, indulging, drifting. But true freedom belongs only to the disciplined. Discipline is structure. Discipline is choice. Every repetition, every sacrifice, every moment you say no when it would be easy to say yes sharpens you. The world bends for the man who bends himself first. Rule 3. Silence is your ally. Noise exposes weakness. The loudest man in the room is rarely the strongest. Power grows in silence, in restraint, in the ability to make them wonder what you're thinking, what you're planning. Speak less, observe more. When you open your mouth, let every word be measured, deliberate, the kind of words that cut deeper than a scream. The man who controls his tongue controls the room. This is your foundation. Without these 3 rules, everything you build will crumble when the pressure comes. Comment, I sharpen my silence if you understand this, and if you're ready to rise above the noise. Power is not given, it is taken, earned through strategy, patience, and a relentless refusal to be ordinary. Every empire, every king, every shadow ruler understood one truth. Power is a game of perception. Play it well and you control the board. Play it poorly and you become a pawn. Rule 4. Control the battlefield. Never fight where you are weak. Never let them dictate the terms. Choose the ground, choose the time, and when the moment comes, strike with precision. Power is not about endless motion. It's about calculated moves that appear inevitable. Understand this. Chaos favors the weak. Strategy favors the strong. Rule 5. Power respects distance. The closer they feel to you, the easier you are to reach. Maintain distance, not arrogance, but control. Mystery creates leverage. When they can't predict your next move, they can't prepare to stop it. Your silence will make them speak too much. Your distance will make them reveal their intentions without realizing it. A man who is hard to reach becomes a man impossible to control. Rule 6. Never show your entire hand. Information is currency, and the richest man is the one who spends it last. Speak less than you know, reveal less than you have, make them guess, always. Uncertainty breeds hesitation, and hesitation creates control. The man who moves like a shadow, revealing only what he chooses, is the man no one can outmaneuver. Power is not built in noise. But in quiet moves, no one sees until it's too late. The loud demand attention, the powerful command it without asking. Remember this, the world doesn't crown the strongest. It crowns the most calculated. These are the laws that turn motion into dominance, effort into influence, and presence into quiet, undeniable command. You don't just step into power, you become it. Brick by brick, rule by rule, until the world bends, not because you forced it, but because it no longer has a choice. Comment, I move in silence, I strike with precision, if you understand. Power without influence is hollow. It's noise, loud but empty. Influence is what bends the will of others without ever raising your voice, without ever lifting a hand. Understand this. Men follow strength, but they obey influence. Influence makes the powerful inevitable. Rule 7. Control perception. Control reality. People don't see you as you are. They see you as you allow yourself to be seen. Craft your presence with intention. Every look, every word, every movement, deliberate. Stand still when others shake. Speak clearly when others stutter. Let them feel your calm as dominance, your silence as command. Influence begins not in what you say, but in what you project. Rule 8. Play the long game. The impatient man loses before the game begins. Influence is not built in days, it is built in layers. Each action is a brick, each silence a wall. Time exposes the impulsive, but time rewards the man who waits. A calculated man is a dangerous man because his moves are never rushed, never emotional, never obvious. Rule 9. Power thrives in subtlety. The strongest influence is the one that doesn't look like control. Plant ideas instead of giving orders. Make them believe it was their choice, their decision, their victory. When people think they move by their own will, while unknowingly walking a path you've designed, you don't just hold influence, you own them without chains, without force. Understand this, influence is not about popularity. It's not about being liked. It's about being necessary. Become the man they can't ignore, the man whose silence carries more weight than their noise, whose approval becomes currency, whose absence feels like a void. That is real power. Influence is quiet. It's in the way you make people feel when you enter a room, the tension when you look at them and say nothing, the subtle shift in tone when you finally speak. Master this, and the game bends itself to you. These are the moments that build empires, not through chaos, but through calculated invisible dominance. Comment, I move minds before I move pieces, if you understand. Power is nothing without control. Control over yourself. Control over your environment. Control over every piece moving around you. A man without control is a man on a leash, and whether he knows it or not, someone else is holding it. Understand this. Control begins inward. If you cannot master what happens inside, you will never command what happens outside. Rule 10. Master your emotions, or they will master you. Anger, fear, doubt. These are chains disguised as instincts. They make you predictable, easy to read, easy to break. The man who controls his emotions becomes a fortress, untouchable, unreadable, unshakable. Never react, observe, analyze. Move only when your move brings you closer to the outcome you want. This is how kings think. This is how empires rise. Rule 11. Control the narrative. The story others tell about you will shape your reality, unless you shape it first. Never allow your image to be defined by anyone but you. Silence rumors with facts when needed, but more often, let your results speak so loudly that no one dares question them. Control what they see, what they hear, and what they think they know. The man who owns his narrative cannot be erased. Rule 12. Control the tempo. Speed is nothing without direction. Most men move too fast, desperate, frantic, burning themselves out. Others move too slow, paralyzed by fear, buried in hesitation. But the man in control? He sets the pace. He decides when to strike and when to wait. When you dictate the tempo, you dictate the game. Control is not loud, it's not chaos, it's quiet precision, the ability to pull every string without anyone realizing you're the one holding them. Control turns noise into silence. It turns confusion into clarity. It makes you the center of the board, while everyone else scrambles in circles. The man with control doesn't chase outcomes, he engineers them. Comment, I command the chaos, if you understand. Rules mean nothing without mastery. 12 laws, 12 weapons. But weapons are useless in untrained hands. Understand this, the battlefield is not outside, it is within. Every move you make, every silence, every calculated strike, begins in your mind. To bend the world, you must first bend yourself. The mind is where strength is forged. It is where weakness dies, and weakness will fight to survive. It will whisper lies, that you've done enough, that you've earned rest, that discipline can wait until tomorrow. But tomorrow is how men rot. To master the 12, you must train your mind to be untouchable. Detachment becomes your armor. Discipline becomes your language. Silence becomes your weapon. You will feel anger clawing at you. Ignore it. You will feel fear rising. Suffocate it. You will feel doubt creeping in. Starve it until it dies. Repetition builds empires. Study the rules until they stop being words and start being reflex. Until you no longer think about control, you are control. Until you no longer seek power, you are power. An unshakable mind doesn't react, it observes, it calculates, it strikes only when striking serves purpose. And when you move, the world will move with you, not out of choice, but out of inevitability. The 12 rules are not just lessons, they are a code. And once that code is written into your mind, you will stop chasing strength, because strength will have already become you. Comment, I am my own weapon, if you understand. Knowledge without action is nothing. Understanding the rules means nothing if you don't enforce them, relentlessly, decisively, unapologetically. The world bends not for the thinker, but for the executor. This is where power sharpens, where theory becomes strategy and strategy becomes reality. First, move in silence. Never announce your plans. Never expose your process. Build in the dark, where no one can interfere, where no one can prepare for what's coming. By the time they see you, it's too late. The board has already shifted, and you are holding every piece. Second, strike with precision. When you move with purpose. Every action calculated, every step aimed at a definitive outcome. Weak men act out of impulse. Strong men act out of inevitability. One clean strike at the right time is worth more than 100 desperate swings. Third, leverage perception. Control how they see you. Be underestimated when it serves you. Be feared when it benefits you. Influence begins with perception. Master it, and you never have to fight battles you've already won in their minds. Fourth, control the pace. Speed is irrelevant without control. Sometimes the most powerful move is to wait, to let others expose themselves, to let impatience destroy them. Other times the advantage lies in calculated aggression, moving so quickly and decisively that they never see the strike until it lands. Power is knowing when to wait and when to burn the board down. Finally, enforce your code. These 12 rules mean nothing if you betray them under pressure. Discipline is not part-time. Power is not a costume you put on and take off. It is constant, unflinching, absolute. Execution is what separates those who talk about power from those who hold it. The quiet operator, the man who doesn't flinch, the man who builds, adapts, and strikes without hesitation. That is who wins. That is who rewrites the game. Comment, I execute in silence, if you understand. Power is not static. The man who refuses to adapt dies in place. Understand this. The world moves in patterns, shifting, evolving, never still. If you remain rigid, if you cling to the way things were, you will be outmaneuvered, outplayed, erased. Adaptation is not weakness. Adaptation is survival. It is the art of bending without breaking, of observing the changes around you and reshaping yourself faster than the game can catch you. First, watch everything. Power comes to the man who observes more than he speaks. The trends, the players, the moves, watch them all. Not with emotion, but with cold calculation. See what others are blind to. Notice the cracks, the openings, the shifts that signal opportunity. Second, anticipate change. Do not react to the world, predict it. The one who anticipates holds the advantage. If you see the storm before it forms, you have time to prepare, to position, to strike when others are scrambling in confusion. Anticipation turns chaos into control. Third, remain fluid, never desperate. Rigidity is a slow death. Your principles are fixed, your strategy is not. When the board changes, change with it. When the rules shift, write new ones. Adaptation means staying dangerous, no matter the terrain, no matter the enemy, no matter the situation. Fourth, evolve in silence. Growth that is seen is growth that can be targeted. Let them think you are the same man you were yesterday, while in reality, you are 3 moves ahead, sharper, faster, untouchable. By the time they notice the change, it's already too late. Adaptation is not about abandoning your code. It's about sharpening it, molding it, perfecting it to match the battlefield you stand on today. This is how you remain untouchable. This is how you rise while others crumble. Remember this: the man who adapts faster, thinks clearer, and moves quieter is the man who wins. Every time. Comment, "I evolve faster than the game," if you understand. The loud build noise, the quiet build empires. Understand this: the world worships spectacle, chaos, attention, endless noise. But noise is a distraction, a trap. Those who chase visibility rarely hold power, because true power grows where eyes cannot see. The man who builds in silence, the man who moves without announcing every step, that man becomes inevitable. First, build where no one is watching. The moment they can predict you, they can prepare for you. Silence is your shield, secrecy your greatest weapon. Grow your skills, your influence, your reach quietly. Let them underestimate you. Their ignorance is your advantage. By the time they finally notice, it will already be too late. You'll be everywhere, in every room, in every mind, and they'll wonder how they missed it. Second, make your presence undeniable, not loud. True presence isn't in how much you speak. It's in how they feel when you walk into the room. Your stillness, your precision, your quiet command. That's what unsettles them. They should never know exactly why they feel it, but they should always feel it. Be the storm they sense in the air before it breaks. Third, power multiplies through leverage. Your time is finite. Your presence is finite. Leverage turns one man into many. Build systems, build alliances, build channels of influence that move even when you sleep. Never be everywhere yourself. Build the network that makes it seem as if you are. Fourth, keep your empire invisible until it's unshakable. Weak men want recognition. Strong men want control. Visibility invites envy. Envy breeds sabotage, so you grow quietly, methodically, under the surface. By the time they see the empire, it's already fortified. No one can stop what they didn't see being built. And understand this: your empire is not just wealth, not just influence, not just control. It is you. Every habit, every calculated decision, every hour spent in ruthless discipline is a brick in your foundation. Every lesson learned in silence is another layer of armor no one can strip from you. When the noise collapses, and it always does, the loud will fade. Their voices will go quiet. Their crowds will vanish. Their thrones will crumble. But the silent man, the one who played the long game, the one who built without seeking permission, the one who stayed patient while sharpening his blade, he remains. He ascends. This is the law of the silent empire. You do not announce power. You do not broadcast dominance. You simply become so sharp, so disciplined, so inevitable that when you finally decide to reveal yourself, there is no resistance left. Comment, I build in silence, I rise in power, if you understand. Power is not the end. It is only the beginning. Understand this. Strength without purpose is wasted. Control without vision collapses. The man who builds for the moment dies with the moment. But the man who builds with precision, with patience, with an eye on eternity, that man leaves a legacy that cannot be erased. Your legacy is not in applause, not in empty praise or fleeting recognition. It is in the quiet shifts you create, the unspoken influence you leave behind, the systems you build that outlive you. First, build something that lasts. Money fades, titles fade, but principles, discipline, silence, control, these carve your name into time. When you are gone, they will still move by the laws you lived. Second, teach through action, not noise. Speak less, show more. A disciplined man doesn't need to announce his lessons. He embodies them. Those who observe will learn. Those who don't were never meant to. Third, protect what you've built. Every empire faces storms. Your strength will not be in avoiding them, but in standing unshaken when they come. An empire fortified in silence, discipline, and control cannot be moved. Not by time, not by envy, not by chaos. Your legacy is not about being remembered. It's about becoming undeniable. When your presence is so deeply woven into the systems, the minds, the movements around you, you never truly disappear. Machiavelli wrote it. History proved it. Power belongs to the man who builds carefully, holds firmly, and passes on nothing but strength. Comment, I leave a legacy of power if you understand.